Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for World Trigger Chapter 78. Alright, and turns out Replica isn't actually destroyed. We see that here. And the anime made me remember some things, so it's actually kind of obvious that Replica wouldn't be destroyed because we see in the beginning of the series that Yuma's face cracks open practically, and he's still okay, so uh, if Yuma's face can crack open and he's still okay, then I'm pretty sure Replica is fine. Um, but anyway, yeah, Replica's not dead. All right. Osamu discovers this, and Hyrain actually ends up coming over with Miwa. All right. And this black rabbit, it's still attacking Mira even after Replica gets cut in half. So Hyrain stops by starting to cubify it. Though he hasn't actually cubified the whole thing yet, just an arm. So maybe it's not out yet. Um, it might still have some. It still has some fight in it left. Um, but half replica removes the beacon from Osamu's arm. That way, Mira can't just like warp to him like she could before, or open gates where he is. You know, not really warping, but you know, whatever. Not a big deal. All right. And he tells Osamu that he needs to dodge for 20 seconds on his bad leg because he hasn't finished analyzing the door yet. Okay, and keep in mind, last chapter, all right, Daisuke Ashihara said we had 94 seconds left. Okay, and we don't know how much time has actually passed since like that 94-second point, and right now, as Replica is saying, wait for 20 seconds. So I'm sure it wasn't 74 seconds that passed, but still, like that's a decent chunk of the remaining time we have left. So whatever this feature event has, or whatever this feature event is, it has to do something. It happens around the same time that Replica finishes analyzing the door, which doesn't necessarily mean that that's when Osamu gets there. That just means that it's when the analysis is complete. So the analysis might end up finishing, but then Mira is keeping him busy and he just can't get to the door. So this event this is interesting. This is interesting. So uh, does it have to do with maybe like someone in? No, never mind. I was gonna say like maybe someone in Border HQ jumped ship and like changed sides, but that wouldn't make sense. If that were the case, then Gene definitely wouldn't keep something like that secret. But he said Miwa would be important. Has Miwa actually done what he was supposed to do, or is he like has he like I know Miwa, he's shown up and he's fighting Hyrain right now, but maybe he hasn't yet reached that point where he has done whatever it is he needs to do in order to save Osama. Like maybe it's not just like maybe him showing up to fight Hyrain was just the beginning, and then the actual action he takes that ends up saving Osama was something later down the line. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of ways this can go. There really are a lot of ways this can go. It can involve Border HQ since it is around the same time that Osama gets access to it. It could involve Mira, obviously. It could involve Hyrain, Miwa. It could involve a lot of people. This is interesting. Yosuke is on his way over there. Um, I don't know what this future event could be. This is well. Let me just move on because I'm spending a lot of time on this. Um, but yeah, the rest of the chapter is Yuma and Visa, which this was actually kind of cool because Yuma he realizes that what he's doing just isn't working at all. Okay, so he comes up with this new plan and he runs it by Replica, and he and he asks Replica if he stands a chance. And Replica drops a chapter 1 quote on us and says, "I cannot make that decision. Only you can." And which was cool because what's his name? Hisashi Sasaki, the former editor in chief of Weekly Shonen Jump, who I mean the Bakuman featured him quite heavily. Like that guy. he actually retweeted this quote from chapter 78 here. So oh, he didn't retweet it, he tweeted it, because 99% of his tweets are just quotes from Weekly Shonen Jump characters. Um, and this was like his tweet for the day, where he just tweeted Replica. So that was cool. Kind of acknowledging the fact that it's good, that it matches up with the anime perfectly. But anyway, Yuma ends up putting his plan in motion. All right, and he ends up getting his Tryon body wrecked, like legs cut off and crap, like cut down the middle. Like he just got completely wrecked. All right, so he abandons his Tryon body and goes after Visa with his actual body. But because he sacrificed his Tryon body, he was able to put that weight onto Visa's sword and slow it down, prevent him from actually using it. And that's when he was able to get him. And that shot looked like it hurt too, because his freaking body was like coming apart and stuff. So yeah, it looked like it hurt. And one thing to point out for this and for the end of this chapter is that we didn't have a countdown here. Like recently, he's been adding how much time is left until the future. At the end of the chapter, but this time he didn't, which leads me to believe that maybe he's trying to make us forget about it right before it happens, so that even though we've known about this future event for the longest time, it still catches us by surprise when it happens. That's why he kind of just stopped mentioning it at the end of the chapter. I've seen this happen before, because I'm a wrestling fan, and they use this strategy all the time in wrestling. They try to make you forget about someone by not talking about them. And then what do you know? They make their big return to TV like a couple weeks later, and oh, look at that. You totally didn't see that coming. So, yeah, I've seen the strategy put in motion a lot of times before, and that might be what he's going for here, trying to catch us by surprise. But, yeah, that's about all there is to talk about with this chapter. And I'll give this chapter an 8.5 out of 10. Like I was like, yeah, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was really good. I was thinking about giving it a 9 just because the Yuma stuff was actually really cool. But I'll keep it at an 8.5 just because like this. I thought the stuff with Yuma and Replica was great, but the stuff with Osamu and Replica and Mira and High Rain and the Rabbit and like that stuff was not on the same level as Yuma and Replica and Visa. So I'm 8.5. 8.5, okay. I'm giving the chapter an 8.5 out of 10, and that's that, you guys. Great, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.